Starting the recording. And we're good. Alright. Hello. Are you ready for CP Sunshine? I sure hope so.
Yeah.
This week we are playing NYU Mercs. So they're going 6-0 right now, which is kind of terrifying. Statistically, they are the best team in the league. With that said, I don't think they're... I think they're the best overall, but other teams' high points are just higher than what I think their maximum is. For instance, I think Loose Cannons, Mixed Team, and us are able to beat them. Because our high points are higher than theirs, but overall they have the most consistency, and that is something we desperately need if we're going to be able to pull this off. So, with that said, it's time to kind of get into the groove here. I want to talk about Sunshine. This recording will be going up as soon as I'm done, so feel free to watch as many times as you need, and also ask questions. If you have questions, that's a great thing. There are no wrong questions, only the right way. There's only, like, the right way to play. So, starting in spawn, you come out on the last. One name for this is barricade. You can call it wall, fence, whatever you'd like. You have barrels or crate. It's really the same thing. Both. You got last over here. This is upper. Over here, you have platform, ledge. There's, again, multiple names for it. I personally like to call it ledge, but, you know, it's really up to you. Down here, that's the entrance to dungeon. And then over here, you just have part of last, but you can also just call it right in this case, since we are on red. So, going out to right, we're into lobby. Lobby goes into lower lobby, and then upper lobby, and upper lobby goes back into upper. And if we go... we can go from lower lobby into dungeon. So, then coming out of lower lobby, you have the entrance to Valley. Over here, this is Bats for battlements. And then this is Shutter. Especially, we'll get back into positioning and stuff, but Shutter is your best friend, Demo Man. Can you guess why?
Sticky trap.
Yeah, he understands. So this is the exit to dungeon, and coming out, we have concrete in second. Down here, I like to call this grass personally. This is still part of concrete. This is your forward spawn, or if we have mid. And over here, it's cafe, and it's called cafe because it's kind of a little mini cafe. Cafe takes you out onto mid, and this is choke right here, very similar to process. And over here is valley. Okay, so when we get onto mid, we have, you can call this shed or shack. You can call this Tetris, because it looks kind of like a funny Tetris piece. Over here is tower. This is under, lower. There's also multiple names to call it. And then over by cafe, I also like to call this fence personally. So, with that said, that brings us on to mid. Are you good with all the callouts?
Yeah.
You also have this little upper section. I don't remember the name right off the top of my head for it. You can call it concrete, upper, platform. It all means the same thing. So, when we are on mid fights on this take a very similar shape to those on process. And in that, I mean, it's a rotational mid fight. So the last thing you should be doing is standing still in this case. You need to move. So, combo, ideally, I mean, you can rotate right or left. In this case, right is pretty much the ideal way we want to go every single time, unless they're like cutting us off here. So, you know, we can have our pocket soldier right up on Tetris. And I say that because you want to take high ground. Demo man, you're going to be playing around here, just spamming away. And keep in mind we are rotating towards them at all times. But in ideal, and then scouts lead the way with the pushing. With me, the medic. And then as for our flankers, you two simply have to play together. Roamer, tower is your best friend. It is just so high. You can also, if we push them here, you can jump onto the enemy's Tetris and cut them off. And then for our flank scout, you're just cutting them off, being flank, wrapping around. You can wrap around with us, but also flank, you guys can push in through here too, and wrap around the opposite direction. But that is the mid-fight. Now, I am going to backtrack a little bit, just so we can kind of talk about rollouts. Okay. So, there are different ways to do it. Generally, for combo players, we're going to come out. You're going to go through upper. And walk right in to choke. Very simple, nothing hard. More specifically, let's go back to spawn. So, you guys should know how the rollouts work by now. Belgian, the first thing you're going to do is pocket is static jumps towards this door. You really want to be right about here. Do not leave, but just stand here. Leo, you can just sticky jump towards the door. I wouldn't recommend it. Just get the buff first and then jump once you're out. And then Scout's going to be walking in. You can do another sticky across here if you'd like, just to be faster. I will be rotating healing between our two Scouts as we walk out this way. And then we walk out. Belgian, at this, I would say by the time you get to, you should be coming right about, there we go. Belgian, by the time you get to about here and you're dropped down, you can use one more rocket if you'd like to get more forward, but otherwise, bring out your pickaxe, walk here, stop, get an arrow, walk in. Leo, at this point, you can grab this health kit if you'd like. It's not a lot. There is also another one here, not ideal. I may just have to buff you a little bit more, but just watch your health for your rollout, because it's easy to get really low on health. I mean, yeah, I would say just try and grab this. There also is just this one down here. You would have to just determine what is going to be fastest for you. So, yeah. And then Roamer, I don't know your rollout particularly well, but the idea really for Roamer is just to be as fast as possible. So I would say get your buff, jump out, jump, and just book it out of here. Really, Roamer needs to be one of, if not the fastest person to mid. And so ideally, we're all here within a reasonable time frame. Then we start the rotation, like I said. And the idea is to kill them all. We have to play together. There is pretty much zero margin for error on this one. Or else we're going to lose mid and get pushed all the way to last, and it's going to be a fight to get out of that. Jack, remember that this health kit is here, so you can rocket jump up and kind of get your health back from that jump. So, let's go over defense first. if we get our butts kicked, remember the condition, and this is going to be a hard line, right? Is if we're down 2, or we're at significant Uber disad. Now, the case of having Uber disad from the mid-fight would be literally only if I die. So if I'm dead and you guys don't drop their medic, it's time to leave, right? So say if I die in the mid-fight, Jack, you need to sack for their medic immediately. There is pretty much no time for hesitation, you just have to do it. And then for the rest of you, leave! Get out! It's time for you to go. And start... not start holding second. Sorry, go all the way to last. And now, boom, we're here on last. It's kind of safe. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. If we're doing a passive hold, I'll be sitting back here, giving buffs. Demo, you can be here. I find it to be a little too passive, especially for your playstyle. So you can play up here on upper and start spamming this out. We can have a soldier here. I would really recommend that to be... we can play Belgian up there. If Belgian isn't playing up there, it has to be Jack. So you two can swap out accordingly. We can have Red playing down here with me, getting ready to leave. They'll probably be coming in through that way. And then Woody and Jack, you guys are watching the store with Belgian, who can look down and stuff like that. Now, if we are playing Engineer, there's a couple different ways to do things. You know, I'm not sure if the best sentry spot, maybe down here. The dispenser goes crazy right here because that just makes me immune to backstabs. What else was doing? I think we personally play better with Buddhists. So, Heavy, just defend the point. Leo, make sure you're sticky trapping the point so they can't touch it. And then, if we have Sniper, Sniper, this is pretty much your sight line. This is where their combo should be coming through, so, yeah. Otherwise, you can play over here. I don't think the angle is particularly good, nor can you see super far, but, you know, it's an option. Now, if we're holding last, they will probably inevitably Uber in, and I want everybody to use all that kiting the Uber practice we've done for the last several games and get out alive. If they waste their Uber and I live, then we can just counter and kill them all. It'll be incredible. But that is kind of what we're doing there. Now, if we're gonna forward hold, it's very similar, but the idea is you guys can just aggress. I would avoid for our combo to walk through this door. I fear the sticky traps. You guys should also fear the sticky traps. If your scout can guarantee there are no stickies there, then Jack, you can go through and start holding up here, but don't go that far in otherwise. Combo, we're pretty much chilling here, trying to fight this out. This is just going to be a spam corridor of death, so try not to eat too much spam and die, but also watch for your stickies right on the door. It's going to be sad if you go in and die to that. So that is kind of where we're standing with our last holds. Any questions? Excellent. So, say we are able to push out a last for free. Incredible. They got wiped. We're so good. Now we can start talking about holding second. So as far as passive holds go, for second, it's all about being ready to leave. I mean, I personally won't be playing super deep in. You know, flank, you guys can be pushing out a little bit. I recommend flank be watching Cafe here. Cafe is very much like, God, I'm gonna say this wrong. It's kind of like sewers, in a way. On product. So it's a little bit backwards, but, you know, if you think of it as product and this is choke, then Valley would be like your IT, and Cafe would be your sewers. So, but yeah, flank, you two have to play together incredibly well. Like I said, there is no room for error here. You guys cannot abandon each other and die. So, I would say that is an option. There is a health kit here. You kind of have this lower ground, so be careful about that. And just spam them out, pretty much. I would really not. I'd say probably don't go around this corner and die, but just vibe here. That is one option. If that's not working for you guys, then the other option is have the flank watch Valley, but there's a reason we won't do that, particularly because of what I will explain. And then Demo, your job is going to be spam out choke. If we're holding, if I need you to hold her like super passive, just spam stickies here, spam stickies that way, because their uber push will be coming in through here or choke. So we have our combo getting ready to counter their combo. And then Belgian, take high ground. I'll be with red, and we might be able to take high ground on point, or play a little bit lower on grass. Either or. So, and then, very similar to what I said, if we're holding more aggressively, it's kind of the same idea, but, you know, right in their face a little bit more. But, say we can come out of second, then we go on to mid. And now middle, if we're holding passive, it is like a process 1-to-1. It's incredible. You know, Demo can be vibing by here, by Shed, whatever you'd like to call it. I'll be back here with our scout. Soldiers, take your high ground. And then, flank scout, you can also just be, you could be doing some spotting between these three doors here. Now, if we are holding aggressively, and this is, I'd say a forward hold is almost the default for Sunshine Middle specifically, because I can be vibing over here with our Demo. Now we can have our combo watching this side, so Belgian, I'd say, hop up there with, and red will be peeking through, and then our flank can be getting ready to take through Cafe. Now, there are a couple options in terms of moving through onto second for a push, and my personal favorite is you can take both scouts through Valley and just speed rush and pretty much blitzkrieg straight through into them. Now, if we're taking both scouts through Valley, that means Belgian needs to go help Jack and Cafe. Otherwise, if we're doing a combo Uber push, then flank, you guys can, you can take Cafe if you like. Otherwise, if you want to be a little bit closer to your team, then you can come in through choke. Just watch out for stickies on these stairs or around this corner. But I'd say for combo Ubering through Valley, at this point we can push pretty much all the way up. I'll give the Demo a flash, you can jump in towards the point and bomb them, and then I'll pick up our scout and we'll go all the way in. And then the flank can follow up. Pretty much as soon as you get to here, Jack specifically, rocket jump in, right? You need to be incredibly fast when getting on. So, that's generally how it goes. There is really no proper way to use Cafe. This is more of the escape route, right? To where if we hop in and then we start holding their second, we need a way to leave. So that's kind of why Cafe exists here, and I'll explain that here more in a second. This is also a really strong spy route for Cafe. You can send a spy around through choke into cafe, boom, you get backstabbed. So watch out for spy mains. Now, say we can push successfully on to their second. Let's do a little bit of a passive hold. In that case, that means demo, you're up here, you know, spam out shutter. You can put stickies over there, put pipes in. You're not really going to be able to do much with these two doors, but these two are your priority. I'll be back here with you, might be a little bit further back. Red, you can be helping your demo. Belgian, you can play with your demo over here. You can also play up here and start watching these doors and then flank people. You guys can be trying to edge your way in. You know, use the high ground to your advantage, see if you can spam them out. Especially spot out if they're giving it to you for free. If you can take a lobby for free, then you go into lobby. But I want not a soul to walk through this shutter until we know there are no stickies. So we will sacrifice a scout. I mean, if somebody's already behind him and they can confirm, great. Otherwise, don't feed the demo man. Yeah, so that would be hold. And then if you want to play a little more aggressively, I mean, I'll be playing a bit more forward. You know, Belgian, you can honestly jump right on the bats and start peeking that, helping your flank out. But really, if the flank is already in here for free, then we can just that is part of the forward hold. If they're playing back here, then that's more of the passive hold for a second. Otherwise, we can push in. Now, pushing in, it gets a little bit funny. There's a lot you can do. One option is to have somebody hiding in dungeon. I mean, if you can sneak your roamer in here, he can bomb up and onto them. Really, we can also send in, if we want to Uber, we can do a classic Uber through this side on right and just kind of kite them in. Otherwise, I think the default positioning would be have your demo spamming this out with your pocket, and then have your flank looking for a way in around, i.e. right here. Watch out for like a sniper right there or right there, because that is a decent sight line, and if you're standing right here, you're getting headshot. I personally will be sitting right here, maybe building Uber with red until it's time, and then we can just Uber push in with our demo, scout, and pocket soldier, and do that. Now, if we're Ubering in through this side, like, I keep comparing this to process, but because it's true. If we Uber in, I want my flank players to come in through this direction, because what's going to happen is we'll push them down, around, and right into the flank, and they get wiped. So that's another option, but also, remember, dungeon is here, so if we want to try something a little silly, sack plays, perhaps, then that also works. Because, like, a sentry is not going to see you immediately down there, so it's also just an option. A couple of notes I will say is watch out for the spy through dungeon. That might happen. And yeah, I do fear their sniper. And they didn't pull out the sniper until we were about to roll them on Bagel, but I don't know what they're gonna do about that. So everybody watch your heads. So that is generally how Sunshine goes. Now we're gonna get into some more specific details of things, and yeah. Any questions so far, sir? Nope. Okay. So, a couple things I want to remind everybody of. Number one is your kill priority. The kill priority is always as followed. First is not your medic, but the medic with a near charge or with a charge. Generally, that would particularly be at the start of the rounds, so in the mid-fight. Otherwise, for those kind of kills, it would be through a sack play. Next would be your power hitting classes. So your Demo Man. The demo's gotta go. He's just area denier king. And then otherwise, it's gonna be followed by your scouts and soldiers of, I don't know, kill whoever you can. And then the last person you should kill is a medic with no charge, because they are pretty much useless, and don't worry about them. Very specific notes, kind of throughout the season. Number 1, do not walk into doors. A scout needs to walk in, turn around behind them, and then check for stickies with their eyeballs, and if there are no sticky bombs, say clear, and then the rest of the team can walk in. Incredible. Next on the list, Pocket Soldier does not play Roamer. There will be no sack plays by my Pocket Soldier this game. Absolutely none. And so don't even think about trying to do it. Belgian, just simply do not do it. You will be near me at all times. I need to, like, see your body at all times. And then for Jack, I think your sack plays have been good. I do see a little hesitation sometimes. So when it comes down to this match, you need to have your head in the game. And pretty much know that if the second I say I am dead, or you just see my name die in the kill feed, that is just, you bomb, you go. Now otherwise, if we're doing a planned bomb, ask me first, so I may buff you, and then we send you on your way. It'll be incredible. 5 red, I need you to be a little bit louder on the callouts for this one, and a little bit more assured of yourself in this. If we make mistakes, I rather us be trying, and we'll be able to learn from it after the round is over. But I don't think we have the ability to be super passive this match. We have to be on our best game. I feel like I'm forgetting him. Witty, just frag. Yeah. Oh, right, Witty. I don't want a soul trying to capture these points, except Witty. Yeah, you know, if we clear out an area, we let him go to the point, and I want everybody else holding position or trying to push into the next area, and we go. We're gonna leave the flank. Go ahead.
What if he's dead? What if he's dead?
If he's dead, then it's 5 red shove. And if they're both dead, we need to be leaving and not trying to capture the point. Because
what if, like, we're both dead and like the other team was like almost team wiped?
if they're both dead and they're almost dead, then that would probably be like at the very end of the round, and then we can capture last. That's fine. Otherwise, that really shouldn't be happening. But yeah, that could be a situation at like just the very end of the round, after we've already uber pushed in, and if we're gonna lose the kind of push and we're already all deep, then we just need to fight, and if we die, then we die, and we'll have to reset on mid. But yeah. As far as kind of how the game flow should go, remember, it's roll-offs into the mid-fight. If we lose the mid-fight, we go to last. If we win the mid-fight, we pretty much should be able to go to their last. If we're pushing into their last, and they're able to push us back, then we can hold second, and then start pushing back to hold last. It's very situational. Otherwise, if we win the last push, then we win the round. Kind of opposite day applies when we're getting pushed. So if we lose the mid-fight, we go to last, and then we fight our way onto second. If we get second for free, then we go to mid, and then we go to their last, and then we try and win. So, Another thing I want us to be mindful of is the clock in this game. I don't want us to sit around and do nothing for so long that the time runs out. It's kind of been a problem in the last couple games. For instance, I mean, the biggest example was the Virginia Tech match on Goalie Wash. That went all the way to the clock. Our most recent example was versus Cal Poly Gold, where it took 30 minutes for us to win a single round. That could be an issue. I don't think these guys will let it go to the clock, but if it becomes an even match thing, we don't want it to let it go all the way to the clock. Otherwise, think about Uber pushes and how to kind of kite the enemy's Uber out. Yeah, and another thing too is let's really try and focus on keeping the comms short and precise. Only say what's necessary and nothing more. And work with your team. Yeah, just don't abandon your players, and I think we might just have a chance. Despite these guys' record, I do think they're beatable. And all that matters is we just have to be the guys to do it. So, no pressure. On the bright side, we're guaranteed into playoffs, so we don't have to worry about that. Now it's just a matter of, can we beat these guys? And just start proving ourselves a little bit. I think our high moments are probably the best in the league. The reason we're not number one is just because we lack consistency. That's what it is. But yeah, we'll have time to work on it going into the playoffs rounds. But it starts with this, right? So yeah, it's gonna be we'll play our best, but I wouldn't stress about it too much. But with that said, play to win. I want nobody to throw. I don't even want anybody to joke like they're gonna throw. I need everybody to be on their best game.
Lock in.
What's up?
Lock in.
Yep, we just... Hopefully we don't feed and then we win. It'll be incredible.
Didn't we beat them in like a scrim?
Yup, we beat them on the bagel scrim and then we lost to mixed team. So... I know these guys are beatable. We've done it. It's just gonna be can we be consistent to do it again on a CP map? Now I'm glad we had some time on Metalworks to kind of get back into the CP formula, but this is gonna be this is pretty much the final exam on Sunshine. So I hope that we've all learned at least a little bit out of this season. Obviously, we have more matches to go in playoffs, but this is the end of the main season this week, so we just have to put our best foot forward and show that we're ready for the second round. But yeah, I think we've done. I think we've done fairly well this season, and I am very happy about it. Otherwise, that's going to be the kind of end of this recording. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. Just don't ask right before the match, or else then I will be very sad. But yeah, I do recommend that everybody take some time beforehand to learn where all the ammo kits are, learn where the health kits are. They can be a lifesaver. He died.
They can't see those stickies if I plant.
Yeah.
Like this one right here.
These stairs are also really good.
But yeah, they don't look down.
No, nobody looks down. See? Boom. Oh,
Oh.
no. Oh, you got
no.
me. What happened? Oh god, I fed. Alright. So, I'm gonna end that here.